Lego Instagram is the California of the Lego community. There are some famous people in good parts, but most of it's on fire and full of poor people. Before we start the video, I just want to say thanks for the support for this Explain series. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it because it's a lot of fun to make. If there's anything in particular you want me to explain, let me know in the comments down below. Decalers. These guys are overglorified water tattoo artists. For those of you who don't know, decals are basically slips of paper that have some prints on them that when you put it in water and throw some chemicals on it, it sticks to plastic. Don't ask me how it works, it's pretty much black magic. There are two types of decalers, Jonak decalers and AV decalers. I'll get into those decal brands later on, but basically think of it like this. AV decalers get AV because of the huge amount of detail on their decals, so they can hide their horrible decal work. Jonak people get Jonak because they're just poor. Decalers are pretty much loved by the entire Instagram community. They're so wholesome, with a few notable exceptions. They're always usually pretty creative. You can always find something cool on their pages, and honestly, I don't have much to say about them. They're just very iconically Lego Instagram. Now, figure painters are the antichrist of decalers. They paint their figures, which honestly end up looking no better than what I can do with a toothpick and a pack of colored Sharpies. Figures then have these big blobs of excess paint on it, which makes it look like they were shoved up a 7-year-old's nose. Degens. Degens are the comedy geniuses of the Lego community, which range from loud equals funny to moderately entertaining. These guys probably got bullied in elementary school and now bully each other because they can't get enough of the pain. On the surface, their accounts seem pretty harmless. They usually post about their clone army or decals that they're doing. Once you get to their stories, you can already kind of tell they're a little bit unhinged, but by the time you're in one of their Instagram lives, you better get out your Bible because you're automatically an accessory to some sort of hate crime and have a one-way ticket to the 7th circle of hell. People simp for them all the time and post about them on their stories so they can get the funny man's attention. The only reason why they're popular is because they have the humor of 3rd graders, which appeals to most of the Lego audience, and the Lego community is so desperate for any type of humor that if you make a poop joke, you're basically Ricky Gervais. MOC Builders. Now these guys are either too poor or not good enough to be MOC builders on YouTube. Their repertoire is mini MOCs, which is basically just an excuse for them to be lazy. The MOCs usually get them a few hundred likes, they ride the high for a bit, their followers spike, but then they start to lose followers, they fall into a depression, and they don't post for about 1 to 2 months. Then this repeats. If they actually made money off of Instagram instead of getting some promo code to a random decaler, maybe they could fulfill their true potential. But the fact of the matter is they can't move to YouTube because they don't have the personality or confidence to be a loud MOC builder, and they don't have the skill to be a quiet one. Wannabe Clone Army Customs. Now we all know Clone Army Customs, the Lego custom clone manufacturer that makes movie-accurate clones if they suffered a stroke. To be fair, they're doing pretty well, and they're by far the most popular custom clones maker. So naturally, some competition comes up and tries to outdo them. There are quite a few of these competitors, but I'll only talk about the big ones and I'll compare them to CAC. Jonak Toys. So basically take Clone Army Customs, make it lazier, only sell blank figs and decals and call it a day. They have pretty good prices, especially compared to other decalers, but you are sacrificing some detail when you're buying from them. But if you don't want your figures looking like a SoundCloud rapper, Jonak is the way to go. Minifig Madness. If you don't want to break the bank on CAC, go with Minifig Madness. You get 360 printed figs for half the price of CAC. Only problem is that you don't get helmets with it, so unless you have 20 Wolfpack helmets lying around, I just don't see why you would buy from Minifig Madness. AV figures. These guys are something else. Take Jonak Toys, whose minifig and decal bundle is about $6. Triple that, don't increase the quality at all, and add another 9 years onto the shipping time. These guys are so disorganized that they have a queue for their orders. They clearly don't understand how a business is supposed to work. The more orders you get, the more money you get, the more people you hire, the faster your business works. They also have printed figures which are rarer than a woman in the Lego community. Their motto is quality over quantity always, which makes it sound like their ink is imported from Italy and their plastic is handmade from the tender love and care of a single Frenchman. But in reality, they're more like Supreme. Same cheap product made by children in Guangdong, China, but marked up only because of the hype. In conclusion, AV is CAC if it went full hype beast. They fuel themselves off of exclusivity, and they honestly have no business being as hyped as they are. Flexers. Want to feel bad about yourself? These are the guys to follow. They refuse to pay full price for battle packs because if they did, they'd probably end up homeless. They have definitely tried to get into land so Lego would send them free sets or mark themselves as a business so they could buy Lego sets in bulk. After that fails, they usually take advantage of Lego factory workers and bribe them to backdoor sets out the factory so they can buy them for half the price they normally would. Speaking of Lego factories, I just want to take a moment to appreciate the one in Monterrey, Mexico, where outside of the factory they have these horribly stereotypical Mexicans in Lego. I mean, just imagine going to work in a factory for 8 hours a day and seeing those guys and just being reminded that the elves back in Billin think that you work in a mariachi band on the weekends. The flexers then usually take their grand armies to conventions to show them off, and they get more attention than the big MOCs that actually take skill, so basically it's a pay-to-win game, but in real life. Leakers. I'll be real, this may be the only reason why I got Instagram in the first place. They somehow get all of the dirt and images on up-and-coming Lego sets. Star Wars sets are the most leaked, but usually other big sets or themes get leaked, like the Colosseum or Harry Potter, for example. But in all reality, every theme has leaks. Problem with leaks is that they're usually taken with a iPad mini or a Hello Kitty flip phone and then screenshotted and reposted to hell. So what ends up happening is you get a 3-pixel image that has just the slightest bit of a resemblance to a Lego set. A subset of leakers are the people who do rumors, which are hard to trust because they're usually 10% right and 90% wrong. What I mean by this is that, for example, there was a rumor last September that the Moff Gideon's TIE Fighter would be coming out in January. Now, we didn't get a Moff Gideon's TIE Fighter, but we got a $40 TIE Fighter, so they were kind of right, but mostly wrong. People coming up with rumors are like fortune tellers, just shot in the dark so broad that it will end up hitting something. The Instagram leakers fuel the careers of YouTubers who take the leaks and report them back to the YouTube community. In short, leakers are where everybody eats. Except for the people who took the photos. They'll probably end up getting fired or sued. That's all I got. If I missed something, let me know down below. Thanks for watching.